At least 60 people have been killed and more than 100 injured in the worst wildfires to hit Greece in more than a decade. Well, the fires started around the capital, Athens, and they spread through the Attica region, fanned by high winds. Most of the victims died in the coastal area of Mati after getting trapped in their homes or as they tried to flee in their cars. Emergency workers used boats and helicopters to evacuate beaches after people ran into the sea to escape the flames. Well, the Greek authorities have now asked for international assistance to cope with the fires, as Richard Lister reports.
An avalanche of flame driven by high winds swept through these houses at terrifying speed. Nothing was left behind. For many of the victims, there was simply no escape. A local mayor said he saw at least 100 homes and 200 vehicles on fire. Some left it until the very last minute to leave, hoping against hope that their homes would be spared. But for the overstretched fire crews, this was an almost impossible battle. Many people simply fled to the sea. The Coast Guard rescued almost 700 from nearby beaches. Others were rescued from small boats offshore.
Thankfully, the sea was there, and we went into the sea because the flames were chasing us all the way to the water. It burnt our backs and we jumped into the water.
It was lightning fast. We didn't realise what had happened. You couldn't. It was the first time I've ever seen something like this.
For others, trying to flee in a car proved a fatal mistake. Flames fanned across roads, leaving them trapped and helpless. The Prime Minister cut short a foreign visit to deal with the crisis, arriving ashen-faced for a briefing.
We must, at this moment, all be in a constant state of alert. We must be unified and make the effort to face an exceptionally difficult situation for the country.
Daylight revealed the inferno still pushing through the landscape. Flames lapping the sides of this coastal highway near Athens. Wildfires are not unusual in Greece, but these high winds after a dry winter have created a tinderbox, and it's these resort areas which are taking the brunt of it.
It's a very green area where many Athenians have their summer homes. Many people, including families with children who are now on school holidays, were at their summer homes at the time. And this partly explains the number of dead and the number of injured.
Emergency crews are trying to keep the flames back while also making grim new discoveries, including a group of 26 huddled together, all overcome by smoke, children among them. As this fire rages on, it promises to bring yet more of these apocalyptic scenes with it. This summer holiday season has become a national tragedy. Richard Lister, BBC News.
Well, we can talk now to Georgia Trizimpiotti, who's a Senior Humanitarian Affairs Officer for the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies based in Athens. Thank you for being with us. And what is the latest on the fires? We've seen the absolute death and devastation that they've caused, but what is the situation with the fires today?
Well, some of the fires are continuing, so Red Cross first priority right now is to getting people to safety, treating the injured, and also working with the emergency services of the country in order to help in search and rescue operations.
And how hard is it for you and your staff to get access to these areas? Because obviously these flames look absolutely terrifying.
In fact, access is not possible to all of these places, but people have been evacuated from the affected areas. Still, we're looking for people that maybe are trapped in buildings, but the overwhelming majority of people have been evacuated. Now the situation is evolving, and what we're trying to do is to help people that they have lost their loved one and have seen their homes completely destroyed. So we're trying to provide psychosocial support to these people.
And you talked there about people who you fear may still be trapped. I suppose that means that the death toll, which is currently around 60, could rise.
Definitely. The formal sources saying that the dead people are around 60. Informal sources are allegations about more than 60 people, but we cannot confirm it. I mean, the operation is going on, and we hope that we're not going to find and discover any other dead people.
And it seems these fires took the authorities by surprise. They spread so quickly, so rapidly, and with such terrifying force.
In fact, we're working very closely with the Greek authorities in order to support their efforts to address this emergency humanitarian situation.
Do you have any idea what's caused these fires?
Honestly not. We have a humanitarian role to play in Greece, and but what I know is that actually an investigation is going to take place in order to find out how those fires broke out.
All right, thank you very much for being with us then. That's Georgia Trizimpioti there from the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies based in Athens.